which used to be, the top team in Japan, and they were the Season 1 champions for the JCG as well. So we love to have Rapid come help us with that, but he hasn't said yes to that yet, so I'm kind of just begging him. I'm like, please do this for me.
Okay, well, apparently there are some developments. Looks like players' ping may have been normalized here, so I'm not sure, but either way, I'd love to be a part of JCG. I mean, even though there have been issues today, it's great to hang out with you guys. It's great to watch, the people watching in chat and, answer some of their questions. And I'm just having a fun time being part of such a really cool international show match, because that's actually something that we don't see a lot of. Like, besides things like the Battle of the Atlantic, there aren't that many international tournaments. And even if it's, Japan and Taiwan playing, it's great to get sort of a better perspective of how strong each one of the teams are outside of their own individual regions.
Yeah, and so like we said, we cannot thank you enough for being here. We know it's morning. We talked with him earlier. He was brushing his teeth. You can't see it, unfortunately. I'm sure they're sparkling and beautiful.
They are
right now, but we are trying to get everybody normalized. In the meantime, maybe you're just tuning in. Maybe you just came in and you're saying, what am I watching? Who are these two bozos on the screen? And why is there a third disembodied voice? Well, you have somehow managed to find yourself onto the JCG International Show Match here today. This is the Japan Competitive Gaming channel here on Twitch. We're doing the English broadcast. I'm Corey Swanson. This is the lovely Ferlin Yoshimi, and the voice you heard earlier, he's still here. That is the always pleasant Rapid. Say hi again, Rapid.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. I keep forgetting that if people are just now tuning in, they're just like, wait a second, there's a third person there? Is he like under the desk? Is he like off to the side? Did they just not have a big enough camera to fit this guy in? I'm not the disembodied voice of esports. I'm just unfortunately somewhat sizably distant from Japan right now. I mean, if I could have been over there right now, I would have. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I'd have to travel pretty substantially far into the future. I'm not sure how the time zone exactly works, but I know there's a 15-hour time difference. But either way, we just make esports possible, so it's glad to be here with everybody. And it looks like I don't know. Aneko was like, "Hey, are we gonna remake this game?" And
yes. So right now we're gonna remake the game because there seems to be still having a lot of problems with the ping. So hopefully, rehosting the game will fix it. Yeah, this is League of Legends. We have server issues. We have ping issues when you're playing from across the oceans. And so I know it's been 40 minutes behind schedule. We are freaking out as well. 40 minutes. I want to go home. I want to go sleep. I want to go play at home as well.
I want to watch.
Yeah, but we're here. We're getting this hopefully done, and we hope you stay with us as well. Yeah, so we are just going to get the thing fixed up real quickly, and hopefully we can get into game. The server seems to be stabilizing. It's just the ping issue coming in from Japan, I think.
Whew.
Just a problem. All 5,200 of you, I apologize for the 40-minute delay, but we will be getting the stream real quickly.
You're like, every time, why does this happen? Well, it's hard. We're working on it. With Rapid here today, he's actually increased our crew by approximately 33%. So
approximately. Hey, there's production people there too.
Yeah, it's Andreas.
It's Andreas and like a couple more people, but everyone's leaving us to the Japanese stream because the Japanese stream seems to be really a problem too. So what we're gonna do for now, while we wait for everything to kind of settle in, let's take a few questions from the stream, the chat. So if you have any questions for us, keep it clean, keep it nice, no swear words, please. Thank you very much. And we'll take a few questions for me, myself, Corey, or Rapid, who is the voice of our stream today.
Yes, if you have a question for my voice, I'll ask it when it thinks. But do want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I know there's a lot going on internationally and just here for JCG, and it's really cool to see the support from so many people interested in Japanese League of Legends. Maybe you're here for the Yoe Flash Wolves and you just want to see the best in Taiwanese League of Legends, and it's just really cool to see them facing off, and it's great to be a part of that. Maybe you're just here for Corey and Ferlin, and if you are, then I'll go ahead and let them talk. But do want to just thank everybody for coming out. It's awesome to see you all here.
Yeah, no, obviously we have to thank Rapid for coming out today because I think it's really fun to have like someone else to really help us with the casting because I am a terrible caster myself. I have no time to learn about how to do casting and I hope one day to actually learn how to properly cast. But for today, I'm really excited to have Rapid to come with us. We are going to take questions, but it seems like most of the questions are in Mandarin, so it's hard for me to read and write at this and talk at the same. Or, yeah, I mean, if you have questions for us on stream, do ask us a couple of questions because we are just waiting to get into game. The games, we are just about to get into a remake of the game. I really apologize. You're just starting today. We're having a little bit of server issues today. So, but the voice you hear is Rapid Casting, and if you have any questions for him, go ahead and ask him. He's ready to take your questions. He will answer any questions that you've got. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, Corey cannot read Chinese like Yoshimi can.
Sorry, I wish I could. Maybe I'll have to study that. I'm not. I can't be trilingual here. Sorry. I'll work on it though. I do appreciate. Actually, I got a lot of fans from Taiwan last time we streamed an international match, and I really wish I could communicate with you more. But sometimes Google Translate just doesn't cut it.
Yes, so what patch are we on? We are on the 3.15 patch, obviously, because 4.1 patch is just coming in today. But yes, when is the event going to start? It's going to start very soon. Unfortunately, we have a lot of server issues right now, so I'm sorry about this. Do you feel any is still a viable pick? Yes. Is that a real question, my dear?
I think maybe they're talking about coming up in this next patch.
So in the next patch, 3.1, 4.1 patch, yes, although her Q stun has been reduced a little bit, right? It scales up now then continuously 1.75 seconds. But the cooldown for Tibus is significantly reduced. And so basically, if you have a good amount of CDR on as anybody play her in the late game, Tibus is basically there all the time.
Right. So that's you might see her a little bit less strong in the laning phase, which is probably what she needs. But with, you said, max cooldown reduction, Tibbers is on a 48-second cooldown once you hit that 40% cap, and Tibbers is going to be alive as long as he's not killed for 45 seconds. So you'll have a 3-second gap, and then you can bring the bear right back. That's going to be more stuns for Annie in a team fight, and when late game comes around, she's already doing damage. That's going to be more chances for you to catch people out all over the map. So I don't think we'll see Annie go anywhere.
So Rapid, they're asking you, how come the Japanese teams don't participate in the other international tournaments?
Let me actually scroll up so I can find all of their champions. Yeah, how come the Japanese teams don't participate? It's kind of inaccessible. I mean, a lot of international tournaments are at very strange hours, and keep in mind, like one of the reasons that YoeFW wasn't able to come with the rest of Detonation to IEM Singapore is because he's actually still in school, and so are most of these players. So they actually have school to go to. So it's not like you can stay up at midnight to play in a North American tournament and then wake up or some of the tournaments even being like during school hours. So it's school, it's just life, because most of the tournaments are halfway around the world. So you do see teams mostly from Taiwan, and then as Japanese esports grows, starting to compete more in international tournaments. Usually it's kind of regional within the SCA region, but once the Japanese server gets around, I expect to see a lot more Japanese tournaments that maybe other teams can come compete in. So primarily the difference is that there's a big difference and big time difference between a lot of tournaments for Japanese players, but with the Japanese servers coming on their way, should be really cool to see what happens when they get there.
That is very, very true. I'm really excited for the Japanese servers to come, just because I really want to see the Japanese scene and the community here grow internationally, because I know a lot of players from Japan that really wants to have the experience in an international competition, like how Rampage and Destination FM had the opportunity to do that. And hopefully this year, 2014, is going to be a big year for Japan in a lot of ways. 你们也有问我们为什么不在日服玩，然后在台服玩？原因是在日本没有日服，我们还在等日服来。我们现在玩的是美服，然后今天我们在日本的话就是玩美服，但是今天的话我们在 台服玩，因为Flash Wolf 因为 Flash Wolf 的话就是台服对吗？我们今天在台服玩，但是没有日服，所以不能在日服玩。Great. When is Japan server on live? That is the big question, right? Isn't that the big question?
I wish we knew.
This year. My answer is this year.
Yeah.
I think latest it would be summer this year. So anywhere from, I would say my guess would be from June to August.
Yeah.
That is the rough estimate that I'm getting from a couple of people from Riot right now. Yeah.
Yeah, just depending on when it does come online. The point is that it is coming. That Japan, as a region, has shown an incredible amount of passion. They're going to get a server, and we are going to get into this game, and hopefully successfully.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going into game. Holy crap!
As they say, third time
excited.
is the charm. Oh man, let's get in right here. We're going to bring the loading screen up for you very quickly here as we ourselves load into the game.
We just stay on us, and then
Alright,
when
fine.
the game goes in, then we'll go into game. But everyone's saying, when I speak Mandarin, you're just like, huh?
Well,
What's happening?
I'm sorry, I don't know what she's saying. So I just I'll nod my head. I'm sure she's saying some lovely things, and I agree with whatever she says, unless she's saying I'm stupid, in which case I probably still agree with it, but yeah, I don't know what to do when she speaks Mandarin, to be quite honest. So I will continue to smile for your amusement.
For me, it's like sometimes there's no transition, so you have to listen very carefully. It's like English, Mandarin, English, Japanese, and just back and forth. But thankfully, we do have Furley with us to communicate internationally to a lot of our audience. And okay, we're into game.
We are
Items
into
are
game.
being bought.
Okay, so
We're moving, so
we are into game. I'm gonna leave it to Corey and no, we are going to game. So I'm gonna leave it to Corey. He will be doing the casting with our special guest caster, rapid casting. So I'm gonna leave you guys for a little bit, and we're gonna game and we're gonna leave you guys. And all right, boys, take it away.
All right. Okay. Well, now and then there were two. So we're dropping like flies, but hopefully we can stay together and get this game underway.
Yeah, a lot of action going on here, huh?
Okay, well, it looks like Detonation are just going to go ahead and play with it to get everybody into the game. And once everybody finally does connect, we should actually have a game this time. So either way, it looks like both teams are ready to go. And we'll have to see how Detonation deals with maybe some ping issues, but also with a pretty interesting team composition, including that Xerath going up against an even more interesting team comp with that AP Lulu.
So, and you can actually see them into game here. Excuse me. The Flash Wolves did a really good job. I don't know if it was the ping, but they all had their items ready to go, and we got the trinkets coming out. Everybody's picking up totems for the Flash Wolves. On the other side, there is one scrying orb, and that's going to be on YoeFW. Take it away.
Summoner's Rift.
All right, so I instinctually, when I was arranging the champions, put Lulu in the bottom lane. I'm like, wait, where does Karma go? Because I'm actually more familiar with seeing mid lane Karma than I am with mid lane Lulu. It was a thing for a time, but then its time kind of passed. So now with that, I'm really interested to see Karma back in that support role. I think support Karma is really undervalued, and I don't think enough people play it. So it's nice to see Sword Art kind of hopping on the Karma train and seeing how many upvotes it can get for that bottom lane performance this game.
All right, so it doesn't look like anything fishy's going down here at level 1. Everybody kind of just standing around in their jungle as we do get the minions getting ready to spawn in here. I wouldn't expect to see anything at level 1, maybe with these team comps. I think they're just going to try and play it straight to the belt as soon as we do get everyone into lane. It is interesting to note you see Vayne and Annie looking like they will probably be in that top lane, but Karma up there as well.
The interesting thing for me, well, a couple of things. One, you see a scrying orb start for YoeFW, so he decided to pick up a little bit of an interesting trinket and is probably going to use that to get long-range scouts off on buff timings just to see if he can, snipe out exactly where the jungler is in the jungle, because it's not actually the most useful trinket. It has a very long cooldown, so if you use it, you better be sure you know where you're going to use it. Only gives 1 second of vision, but we are actually going to see 2 lane swaps, so a nice guess there. It's going to be dual lanes up top.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. I think they recognized that YoeFW and Annie were going to be up there in the top lane, and they sent Jinx up there right away.
All right, so Nico is going to get those 625 range auto attacks off in the top lane. Very, very long range. And this is why Annie support's so good with the late game hyper carry, because while the carry may not be all that great early on, there's a lot of strength there with Annie to protect her and keep her safe.
So, and we actually saw a couple wards coming out of the Flash Wolves. Pings went down earlier, and they did get a ward both in the top and bottom lanes. The bot one has expired. And take us, what is going on up in the top lane?
No, man, Nico is taking out so much damage. Does have some potions to use to get that health back, but just a ton of harass coming out here. And you can tell that YoeFW having a little bit of a rough time, 2 to 8 in CS, but mid lane's actually going a little bit better there for Detonation. But oh, Nico's got to be careful.
So, and we actually see Karma's coming up with that Doran shield. Oh!
Sid Machine over the wall there is going to get tethered up there, but look at Sword Art, very, very low. Sid Machine's going to go ahead and step on those Flame Chompers, gets ignited, safeguards himself back away, and in this 2v3, there's a dual lane there from, oh no, it's going to be Refrain over the wall. There's the Cocoon, lands it, Refrain, perfect timing there with the gank. Top lane, First Blood goes to YoeFW.
So that was just a really good job of Refrain trying to react to that gank, and we still have a lot of action in this top lane.
Oh yeah, action bottom lane as well as Guerrera and Stake both going at it. That's probably a little bit less exciting because they're just going to beat on each other, but mid lane, it's actually the first recall of the game. Forced out there Ceros, forced out of lane.
And here's Refrain back in that top lane.
Try to go underneath the turret, and Nico will go down. There's turret aggro dropped. YoeFW very, very low. Gets the flash in there, and he's going to pick up a kill. Gets the condemn under the turret, and somehow, in a 1v3, YoeFW takes a kill for himself.
That could have gone very poorly for the Flash Wolves. Karma Sword Art doing such a good job of getting out of that tower aggro range, and Elise was able to use her repel to get rid of it as well. Wow. Good job to pick up one kill up there, but it ends up being 1-for-1. They trade kills up in the top lane.
And that's the situation where you really want the barrier summoner spell instead of that cleanse. There wasn't a whole lot to cleanse there, but a barrier would have kept YoeFW alive, maybe allowed him to capitalize on getting that nice condemn into the turret at the very end. So it's a weakness that he has now, but it will be a strength later on in the game once having that cleanse becomes so much more valuable.
Yeah, and we'll see how that choice works out, because you were talking about this earlier. That using... Oh, sorry, go ahead. We got a mess.
No,
I can't
I was
see
just going to say, like, there's not that much, like, individual action happening, but top lane is always going to be somewhere to keep your eyes on. YoeFW can tumble backwards. Still a ton of aggression there. You're going to see Sid Machine forced to camp that top lane very, very hard.
Right. And so we can actually see with that early kill, Jinx comes back in the lane. She does have a Vamp Scepter already, and actually in the bot lane, there's a lot of damage coming up from both of these champions.
I think Guerrera actually wins that trade, but Sid Machine going up against Sword Art there, it's jungler versus support, and to be honest, I think Sword Art's actually a little stronger right now. Doran's shield and that's Ancient Coin coming down as well, and there's Nico taking some damage, but Sid Machine won't connect there with that Sonic Wave.
All right, and there's a lot of action again in this top lane. Lee Sin up there just forced to
bottom though. Cocoon's going to land. Guerrera just going down there. Nice Cocoon, and that's just something that Refrain has been good at all game long so far. I think he's 3 for 3 landing Cocoons, so... we talked about that during Picks and Bans. They just gave Stake Shyvana, and they gave Refrain his Elise, and both of those champions just really, really coming out big here for the YoeFW Wolves.
Yeah, so and this is something I talked about a little bit. We did see Lulu on Maple, but Refrain on this Elise is another reason they were able to pick up that Dell Invitational at the end of December, and he is absolutely showing it. There's actually a Dragon started. You can see mids rotating down for that as well.
Yeah, Stake is level 6, so he can ult if he needs to, but just going to get a lot of extra power from there. An attempt to steal it by Sid Machine, but he just wasn't there in time. That is a 7-minute Dragon taken for YoeFW. And Nico just now level 4 and very low. You can see that top turret dropping low as well.
So the Flash Wolves doing a really good job there, recognizing after picking up that kill on Gorilla, he was going to have to get back in the lane, and the rotations down into that Dragon Pit, and they were able to pick that up basically for free. There was a last-ditch effort from Sid Machine to take it with his Q, but he was not there in time at all, and the push continues here in the top lane.
There we are going to try for the Condemn. There's going to be the cleanse there from Udiproid, but it just wasn't in time. Once again, I mean, that barrier skill would have really helped him out there, but just didn't have it. And now top turret actually could go down here. Minion wave won't be there for very long. So yeah, it's not going to go down just yet. Yeah, top lane, the dual lane, not really working out for Detonation. And like we said, Detonation live off of their carries. Side lane's great and everything, but Rengar is going to be that big tank that sets up for the damage that Saros and Udiproid have. But with Udiproid having a rough early game, it's just going to be how hard can that Xerath carry.
Right, and so far, there's not a lot going on in the mid lane. The farm is pretty even at 52 for Lulu, 45 for Xerath. Xerath has already picked up the double Dorans as well as the Null Magic Mantle to try and keep some of the damage down from Lulu. Lulu has actually not gone back yet to pick up after she's gone back once and picked up a ring as well as a flask. But at the moment, she is sitting on 1,300 gold. We'll have to see what she uses that for once she does get a chance to finally get back to base.
Yeah, and Lulu itemization is actually really weird. You want to go for a lot of magic penetration, but you also want a lot of attack speed because of the way Pix works. If you get magic pen, that helps Pix deal more damage. If you get levels, Pix does more damage too. And so it's just based around getting those huge, highly damaging auto attacks off. And you can see even a little bit of counter jungling here as Stake and Refrain will take away the Wraith camp. And Refrain just kind of living in this bottom jungle, has that red buff all warded up. And we'll have to see if Sid Machine can claim at least some of his jungle as now Refrain. Maybe looking for a gank down bottom onto Guerrera.
Yeah, and you mentioned buffet or warding that red buff. It's not just the red buff. You can look at the ward coverage that the Flash Wolves have in Detonation FM's lower jungle, and they are going to know absolutely where Lee Sin is at all times if he's anywhere close by. And here we go in the bot lane.
Oh, Guerrera has his ultimate, but he's not going to be able to stealth in time. Has a lot of tankiness, but there's Jinx getting excited, and NL going to get all the way out of there. 0-6 so far, and there's the Xerath ult in the mid lane trying to put some damage onto Maple, but Maple's just very, very mobile, has that shield as well, and won't be feeling too much pain there, but a nice push there. Sid Machine trying to put some pressure on this middle turret.
All right, and so that is actually going to be the second turret of the game for the Flash Wolves. Everything is going their way so far. This is exactly how they play the game. They've got their comfort picks. They're playing their style of game. And right now, Detonation FM just does not look comfortable. There's something going down in the jungle here.
Yeah, Sid Machine's going to be forced to Dragon's Rage that Refrain Elise away. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're behind. You need your help from your lanes, but when the lanes are as weak as they are, it's there's not a lot of help for anyone.
And there's the third turret going down in the bot lane.
Yeah, 3 turrets already. It's the 10-minute mark, and while Udiproid and Aneko are able to get a little bit of damage onto the top turret, Shyvana has so much wave clear. Actually went offensive there with the Bilgewater Cutlass instead of speccing into that Sunfire Cape like you'd expect.
Yeah, and so she's just using the 2 levels she already has on Vayne and that Dorn shield.
Oh, Guerrera.
As, oh boy, we are getting a lot in the bot. Wow.
Wow, yeah, there's just action all over the place. That bottom lane, everywhere this duo lane goes, I think that's NL and Sword Art have been responsible for all of the turrets so far. Maple's going to be forced to ult himself. We're looking for one more spell cooldown there, but Maple's actually got the damage advantage here. Saros might turn around and try to pick up this kill, but it's actually the long-range glitter lance. Maple able to take out Saros in the mid lane.
So there you have it. That's what happens when a Lulu fights a Xerath, and it comes down to cooldown rotations, and Xerath just did not have one more in him.
Yeah, that is a little bit rough to see, but there's actually a 1v2 there. Snake's trying to go in there. First kill, though, it's going to be... Yeah, there's the kill. Udiproid will go ahead and pick that one up now. Aneko, oh, Sword Art comes right around the corner, and now actually could find a kill on the Udiproid. There's the Condemn away, and a little bit of damage. The acceleration, there's the leash, and it's a long-range zap from NL. Pick up the 10th kill of the game there for the Yoe Flash Wolves.
And so one thing, we did see the Detonation FM pick up a kill there. Unfortunately, it actually ended up going on to Annie. So Vayne was there. I don't know if that was... What does Annie have? Did the Ignite go down there? Yeah, it looks like that might have been the Ignite that ticked off. And
now Sid Machine's trying to help out Saros, but it may not be enough. There's the cleanse away from the cocoon. Now he's going to drop a lot of damage, but Saros very, very low health. You can see Maple just dodging absolutely everything. Now Saros might die. No, a nice stun on a Maple. Oh my goodness, this is really intense. Guerrero's going to come in. He's stealth. He's got the thrill of the hunt. Going to jump in there on a Maple. A lot of damage, but there's a cocoon there. Perfect cocoon once again from Refrain. He's just landing every single one of those. And once again, Detonation forced to retreat.
Boy, and this is just a case time and time again. Refrain knows where to be, counters the gank coming in the mid lane, and they're going to push in onto this turret.
There's 3 champions there for Detonation FM, so they are going to be able to wave clear that, but just look at all the wards there around the turret.
Wow, that was a bit of a misplay, I think, by Saros there. He actually went into his locus of power there as the Karma Q came across for the second hit and took him down, and this is going to be another turret for the Flash Wolves.
Bottom lane, Stake has already pushed it all the way up there. Guerrero's going to try to sustain off of this, but Stake is just way too tanky right now. Kills him underneath the turret, gets ignited there. He's burning down there, but Sid Machine's going to connect, and there it is. The second kill of the game for Detonation, able to capitalize on a kill on Stake.
All right, so yes, this is maybe not looking so good for Detonation FM right now, but it's always good to see how a team does in defeat as well. And it's not over yet, but Refrain is making sure his team stays on top. Flash Wolves are a team that they really like to take advantage, and they don't want to play this game out. They just want to finish it as soon as they can, and that's exactly how they're playing. Wow.
And yeah, Refrain was able to get in there, set up perfectly for the Super Mega Death Rocket over the wall, but there's Sid Machine grabbing another kill. Top lane Udiproid in a 1v2. We'll have to see what he can do against Maple. The answer is probably not a whole lot, but hey, made a valiant effort of it. And did wind up going down, but still a couple of kills coming out here. It's nice to see at least a little bit of potential. And now it's Sid Machine, though, trying to 1v1 that red buff. He's going to take it out, so a little bit of a moral victory there.
Yeah, so actually 2 of the 3 kills for Detonation FM coming on the Sid Machine, and both of those have actually been kind of clean-up jobs. The rest of his team doing enough damage to take the enemy low before dying, and he comes in with the Q for the finishing blow. You'd like to see a little bit more, but this is a best-of-3 series, so there will be more League of Legends after this. Currently it's, 15 minutes? We're looking at 9,000 gold lead. Stake's doing his best to make that closer to 10,000 in total, and there it is, another dragon.
Yeah, still not quite 10,000, but still an incredible advantage for the Yoe Flash Wolves. You can see a lot of coordination. I actually want to talk a little bit about Taiwanese esports and how they differ from a lot of other metas. For Japan, a lot of the players actually sort of started playing League of Legends on the North American servers. So to some extent, kind of like the Australian meta, it's kind of like North America light. You know, they take a lot of the same strategies, they try to execute them, but it doesn't really work out when you're trying to play on like 200, 300 ping on the North American servers. So it's going to be interesting for me. Oh, there's a dive from Stake around the corner, or over the wall rather. Sarah's going to get locked up, knocked up, taken out. There's going to be a huge giant growth there. Stake's just a huge dragon. Going to get way underneath there. And L just killing absolutely everyone. Goes godlike as he takes down a Nico. That's going to be the first inhibitor of the game, going to the Yoe Flash Wolves.
So, and you can actually see there, that giant dragon, all it took was a giant's belt and a Lulu ultimate, and took all of the damage for the Flash Wolves there. They're going to take that turret as Sid Machine comes in.
No, Sid Machine got in there, but didn't even have time to pick off anybody. NL, Sword Art, Stake, they're all pretty low there. Guerrero wants to jump in there, but he can't find anyone to engage on. There's a pink ward drop down to try to stop him from engaging. There's going to be Steros with a lot of damage. Their Refrain almost going to go down there. Stake almost going into a long-range snipe there from Steros to finally take out Refrain. So Refrain is going to, I guess, refrain from being in that base. And I think Refrain got a couple of kills, or a couple of deaths. And I think NL has one. And of course, Stake has made a couple of mistakes in his column. But at the same time, that's going to be the last auto attack and the giant growth at the very end. The Yoe Flash Wolves, 21-4, take a very convincing win over Detonation.
All right, so folks, you wanted a game, you got a game. There it was, finished in about 17 minutes. That victory is going to go over to the YoeFW Wolves. Congratulations to a very convincing win. But please, please, please stick around because there is, I was going to say more where that came from, but hopefully we see something a little different here in Game 2.
Right, so you guys definitely know, like, it's a very convincing win, but one of the biggest problems they're still are still dealing with is that the Japanese teams are going with a 400 ping. Still, in game, I think 2 or 3 players are having 400 ping. The other 2 or 3 are experiencing about 200-ish ping. And it's very hard to continue playing these games. So I'm just gonna quickly go ask what are they planning to do, and if they want to continue playing the second game or not, because obviously a 400 ping is completely impossible to play at this point of time, and you can see with that game just now, 17 minutes, very convincing. I was watching the game, my jaw was dropping, I was just like, this is not happening. It's very, very hard for them to play, obviously, but it was Destination FM's decision to continue playing just because they don't want to disappoint the viewers, all you guys that are watching at this point of time. And so yes, I'm just gonna confirm if they want to actually play the second game or not, because 400 ping is a little bit too crazy for them. Unfortunately, the team members are not online at this point of time. I think they have just rebooted their system to make sure that the games, maybe if they reboot the system and you know, pings will be better that way, but as of right now, they're not in game right now. Just waiting for them to come on. So,
all right. Well, let's talk about that game a little bit. There's not a whole lot to talk about because we didn't get to see a whole lot. But the story of that game, I think, was refrain, and he did not refrain at all from getting into every single lane and making kills happen. We saw him in the top, we saw him in the bot, and like Rapid, you mentioned earlier, those cocoons were spot on. In addition to that, in the top lane, we did see the 2v2. It was a good rotation for the Flash Wolves to send their bot lane up there as well. And NL and, Sword Art just did a really good job, really showing the strength of that Karma. When you think about supports and you think about poke, maybe you don't always think about that Karma pick. Hopefully that proved it completely wrong, because there was a lot of Q spam coming up from Karma, and the damage was pretty heavy, even with the door and shield start.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Karma Jinx combo that works so well. You could just throw out so much stuff that it's just so hard to dodge away from, and especially with the way that the tether works there for Karma, it's a guaranteed lockdown if you can stay in range. And the thing with Jinx is that if you can lock somebody down, there's so much follow-up CC. Most AD carries either don't have crowd control, or they have like maybe 1 crowd control skill. Well, Jinx has 3. She's got the Zap, she's got Flame Chompers, and she has Death, which is probably the biggest CC of them all. And you just saw them chanting all of those together. You'd land the tether, and then that's right into a Zap. It's right into Flame Chompers, and then there's Super Mega Death Rocket just to finish things off. And I think that duo lane there for YoeFW Wolves was responsible for 5 of the 7 turrets taken down. So those guys did some work around the map.
Yeah, NL was definitely getting excited that game, and boy, you caught me off guard with that one, but you are absolutely right. There is no coming back from a death. It's going to be a while after that. It's not even the hard CC. You put the Flame Chompers on the ground. You put a Karma Q on the ground with, her ultimate on top of that, and that's not a place where you want to be walking. So it's basically walk around, walk through, or die. And walk through and walk around don't necessarily mean not die either. So.
Okay, so I'm sorry that I'm not like talking much, because I'm actually I'm talking to both sides of the teams, Japan as well as Taiwan at the same time, because the Japanese players are not in a client right now. I think they are just trying to make sure that they can get into game and that they can actually figure this thing out, because 400 ping is just, you know, not ideal. Let's just put it that way. It's not ideal to play, which is why we saw that 17-minute stomp, really, in that game right there. And so I'll let these 2 gentlemen talk it out while I talk to the team and make sure we can have a game too.
All right. I think, Rapid, you were saying something. Do you still have that thought?
Do I still have that thought? That is a very good question. That thought.
I know everything leaves my head too when Ferlin talks.
Well, I was like, well, do I need to pay attention to this? Probably yes. So let's pay attention to that, and then forget what I was thinking. So, either way, that is game one. That's it was a little bit interesting. You could see that YoeFW specifically was having a lot of connection issues, and it was a little bit rough to watch. But even Saros actually did okay in his lane, and especially like. Keep in mind, this isn't the sort of normal standard lineup for Detonation. They usually do have President Ma as their support. So switching things up and actually getting a jungle sub in there is I was kind of questioning how well that was really going to work out for Detonation because I haven't actually seen Sid Machine play at all. So it was nice for me to see him actually getting in there, making some pretty big plays. So it was nice to at least see that be a point of strength, something to definitely keep an eye on here in game number 2, if we actually do have a game number 2.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch him on that Lee Sin. I think he had a really good sense. He was getting around the map when he needed to be. Unfortunately, Refrain just always seemed to be one step ahead of him. I don't know if that was a symptom of the fact that she had 8 legs to his 2, but he did a really good job, applied pressure, and we saw that. They almost took down the top lane early in that game to put it in their favor. However, that was when Refrain showed up and turned everything around. So
I'm just getting confirmation. I'm sorry, Rabbit, you were saying?
No. This is more important. I understand the hierarchy of things here, Ferlin. So go ahead.
No. Please go ahead. Finish up what you were trying to say, and then I will say what I need to say. Please.
Okay, I was just going to say that it's anytime you bring a new player into an established team, it's always a little bit of an adjustment. But having one of the strongest performances on his entire team that game, nice to see sort of the newest addition to Detonation Focus Me, Sid Machine, having a really good game.
Okay, so unfortunately, it seems that the Japanese team are facing huge problems with ping issues. Apparently, they tried to log back on, and all 5 members have 400 ping, and it's not fair to both the Japanese team, the Taiwanese team, or the viewers. To be honest with you, it's not fun to watch a game that's so one-sided, or it's not fun to watch when both sides can't really give their 100% at the same time. So unfortunately, we have to reschedule the match for today to another day. Hopefully, we can do it very soon before the grand finals on 25th and 26th. If we can't, then we'll just make it onto a later date. But unfortunately, today we are not going to be able to play the games. I apologize to everyone who's watching or has been watching for the issues that has been with the servers as well as the latency, the pings. And to you, Rapid, for a 5 a.m. Wake up at 5 a.m. trying to do this and to disappoint you with ping issues.
Hey, it's no problem. Hey, we at least got one game to watch. I was excited to see these teams play. And hey, at least if you guys were interested in seeing the Yoe Flash Wolves, you know how fast they can close out a game. Definitely living up to the Flash in their name. So it's nice to get a chance to at least have one game here. And of course, yeah, like you said, it's a little bit unfair to the teams to have them play under those situations. So hopefully we'll get that rescheduled because I'm here for Japanese esports, and whether it's Detonation, Rampage, or any of the great teams that have emerged from what is still a very young esports scene, it's a very young League of Legends scene, but a very old esports scene. So it's nice to see League of Legends starting to take off. Just needs a little bit more help, and these are sort of like the precursors. This is like season 1 of League of Legends in North America, but over in Japan. So you get to see a lot of new teams, new players, incredibly talented, all of them come out and come to play. Hopefully we will see them play another day under better conditions.
Right. So exactly what you're saying, and it's a huge shame that we can't play all 3 games or 2 games today, and we will reschedule. So before I proceed to explaining this in Japanese and in Mandarin, I want to thank Rapid for coming out today and taking the time out of his own schedule to help us with the stream today. Unfortunately, the games could not be played. We did play one game, but it was it was terrible for the Japanese side and not very fun for the viewers to watch. So thank you so much,
Yes, thank
Rapid, for
you.
coming out with us. We hope to have you again once we set out the schedule for this, and hopefully you can come help us with the grand finals as well. So thank you so much. Everybody give a huge round of applause for
It's
Rapid.
fantastic.
Yay!
Rapid, thank you. It was awesome.
Do you have
Thank
anything you want to
so
say to
much.
the viewers before you leave us?
It's actually awesome to see some viewers that normally watch some of my North American games stayed up as late as I did. So if you guys are fans of my casting from North America, thank you so much for coming out at what is very, very early for everyone. So it's nice to see you there. And to everybody who's watching who maybe have never heard me cast before, hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you have any feedback at all, you can certainly send it to Ferlin and Corey. But if you want to send it to me, I'd love to hear what you have to say. And you can do that by following me on Facebook and Twitter at Rapid Casting. And I'll go ahead and put links to that in chat here in just a little bit. But also just make sure to keep supporting JCG. They are sort of the premier esports organization in Japan. And so it's nice to see so much support for them. All 5,000 viewers coming out and watching was a little bit unfortunate, but still it's great to have you guys here. So I want to thank you for your support of me. Make sure to continue to support esports wherever it is. Just thanks for coming out tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Rapid. We're going to leave Rapid here at this point in time. So thank you so much for coming out, and we'll hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.
All right. Have a great night.
All right.
Rapid.
Good night, Rapid. All right. So as you guys know, I've just explained this before. The Japanese team are experiencing very high ping on the Taiwanese server, 400 over each ping. If you follow Utapon on his Twitter, he actually tweeted that we're really sorry for the bad performance, and it's not even a game because it's so hard to play on 400 ping. It's impossible to play on 400 ping. So we are going to reschedule this game. I apologize profusely again for a 1 hour wait and a short game. Still, we can't fix the issues, unfortunately. It's a cross-country thing, and things happen, and we hope to resolve it the next time we make the stream again. So I apologize for this. I'm going to explain this in Mandarin
go
for
ahead.
all the Mandarin viewers out there. 不好意思，我们今天的比赛就不能玩了，因为我们日本的队伍他们的 ping 会太高了，他们全部5个人现在也是有400多的 ping， 然后今天的游戏就不能玩，我们会再改天，然后再改天再玩游戏。我们会跟Flash Wolf 的人再联络，然后把比赛换成改天才玩。不好意思大家，我们让你等久了还是没有比赛，我们改天才会玩，不好意思。我在日文再讲多一次。So I'm going to explain this in Japanese before I leave you guys. So,
Language 3, here we go.
Language 3, here we go. 皆様、大変申し訳ございませんでした。今回の、JCG の、国際交流戦は、あいにく、日本サーバーじゃなくて、台湾サーバーの方からは結構、ピングの、関係で、日本のチームが、2人が3人ぐらいに、400ピンぐらいにいっちゃったので、今回は、また、日程調整をしますので、今日の試合はもう今日で、やめます。また日程調整しますので、次また配信ありますので、ぜひぜひそちら JCG のサイトに、見てもらって、また、日程調整しましたら、告知しますので、今日は大変申し訳ございませんでした。Alright, so
Yeah,
no.
that's...
well, Corey understands Japanese, so I don't know why he's doing that.
That's okay.
But
No, that I got. That's okay. I was just saying, well, this is, really unfortunate that it's these problems that we have. It's when you're trying to foster that international League of Legends community is when you have the most problems, and the data is just not making it through in an efficient manner at all. So we do hope you can come join us again. If you do want to stay up to date on League of Legends, you can do that. Practice your Japanese. Go to the JCG website. If you're not feeling confident in your Japanese ability and would like that in English, feel free to check out Ferlin on either her Twitter or her Facebook. And if for whatever reason that's not enough for you, you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter. Those links should probably pop up in the chat at some point. We will let you know when this is going to happen because because we'd love to have it rescheduled and get that happening.
Yes, so we will reschedule the matches today to a later date. Obviously we're going to talk to the teams again tonight or and tomorrow because it's very late now. And I apologize again for the issues that we had today, and we will reschedule. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch us. Obviously, you can go over to OGN right now. They are playing the third match. I think it's still going on, so go ahead, go check that out. Thank you so much for watching today. We will reschedule another day. If you are in Tokyo, if you're in Japan, or if you can't even join us, the 25th and 26th, we are going to play the JCG 2013 finals. Myself and Corey will be here again. Maybe I'll be casting, maybe I'll be not, but I will be hosting the show in the English broadcast.
We'll be here.
I will put, we will put that information up on the JCG site really soon. You can go down if you see the JCG banner. We will update that. If you want to follow me, follow Corey, follow Rapid even.
Yeah, absolutely. Rapid is amazing. I'm so glad he was able to join us today. That was absolutely fantastic. You should absolutely go check him out. That's Rapid Casting on Twitter. I believe it's the same on Facebook, but like we said, you can probably find that. I think he put it up in the chat for everybody.
Yes, I think.
You might have to scroll up a little bit.
Andreas, aka Karga, will do that. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm not going to take up more of your time already tonight, so thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Hopefully the next time is before the 25th or the 26th, but if not, we will see you on the 25th, 26th for the JCG Finals 2013. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Taiwan, YoE Flashwood versus Japan's Destination Focus Midtime Night. I am your host, and with me today is the incredible Corey Swanson.
Good evening, everybody.
And he will be your caster for tonight. Tonight we actually have a very, very special guest caster for tonight's game, but we will introduce you later tonight. But firstly, Happy New Year! Yay! 明けましておめでとうございます。今年もよろしくお願いします。嗨，新年快乐，大家新年快乐！我们已经来到2014年了。
Yes.
So this year as well, 2014. I'm very excited for 2014. It's a new year. It's the first time we're back on stream. The clan is back in action.
Back in action.
Myself, Corey Swanson, as well as Andreas. You can't see him on stream, unfortunately, but he is here to help you with our stream stuff today. Apologize for what happened in the stream earlier on. We run into a little bit of problems as all streams usually do. So we're about 10 minutes behind schedule, but we are good to go for tonight. And tonight what's going to happen is the JCG International Show match between the Taiwan team, YoeFW Flash Wolves, which is also known as the former Gamania Bears, who was in the World Championships last October. Right, because I keep thinking it's 2013, but it's already 2014.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Very, very fast. And of course, Destination FM talk a little bit about that.
All right. So, as you said, we do have the Taiwanese team, but let's take a look at tonight. Coming from Japan, it's Detonation FM. That FM is Focus Me. Before they were Detonation FM, this team was Focus Me. They were picked up by Detonation Team Gaming and are now existing in their current form. Very strong team here in the Japanese team, consistently near the top. They've won the JCG Season 2 and Season 4 championships so far. In addition to that, this is a team some of you might have actually seen at IEM Singapore not too long ago. They're looking really good. I think their only way to go is up. A lot of players you might know. Udapone, who tonight will be known as Udaproid, who is absolutely Detonation FM's star MVP player. If you watch any Twitch at all, he comes up a lot in many of your favorite pro player streams. He's the AD carry for Detonation FM. We'll see if he plays AD carry tonight. He is with us. In addition to that, Detonation FM has some other really good players. There's Gorilla, there's President Ma, there's Ceros. Analyze plays sometimes, and we actually will probably see a new face tonight in Sid Machine, who's a new pickup for Detonation FM.
Right, so what happened is President Ma used to be the jungler, but I think there was a little bit of an issue, and he was moved to support play. He is still their team leader, but what I heard is today he will actually not be playing the first game. He might be back for the second and probably the third game, but for the first game it will be Sid Machine, the new pickup for Detonation FM, who wasn't scouted actually, he was actually just recruited as he applied for, they were recruiting for new players and just happened to be applied for it.
Right. So I think that was actually December 16th is when they added him to the roster.
I had no idea. That's a very good
Woo!
information to have. Unicorn, of course, tonight we known as Unicorn is used everywhere now, well, in Japan. So I have a lot of people asking me actually, so this Unicorn guy is just like everywhere, because I think what happens when you came from IEM Five, we played ISG as well as the Taipei Assassins,
Right.
which we unfortunately lost, but obviously Unicorn actually played really well that game, and even when we went to IEM definitely in Singapore, a lot of people came over asked like, so where is this Unicorn guy? Unfortunately he wasn't in IEM because Unicorn is actually still 17 years old, and he was actually taking his high school final, so he unfortunately couldn't make it to Singapore for the offline event, but he will be playing tonight, so I'm very excited to see him back in action.
Yeah. So, I mean, like we said, he's arguably one of the top players in Japan, so that's something to really look for once we do get the games going. Keep your eyes open for DetFM Udaproid tonight.
Yes,
So
apparently I have no sound in my mic.
Great.
Can anyone actually hear me, or you guys don't care if you can hear me or not?
Did we fix her?
But we're trying to fix, maybe? Both are, I don't know, maybe...
Keep talking, Ferlin.
Keep talking, and then if there's problems, let Andreas know, and he will fix it up for you guys. But let's talk a little bit about YoE Flash Wolves, or we call it Yoe.
Yes.
So that's how we're going to pronounce it, Yoe Flash Wolf. I'm going to try and say the English and the Chinese word for the players. So Yoe Flash Wolves were formerly known as the Gomania Bears from the Season 3 World Championships. 5 of the 6 players moved to Yoe Flash Wolves. So the players that we have today coming in is in the top lane, Stick, or we known as New Pai. In jungle, it's Refrain or Dong Dong. In mid, it's Maple, or we know as Feng Tang. And in AD carry, it's NL, or No Losers. That's what never loses.
Never loses.
Never loses. And in support, we have Sword Art, or Sasa, we call him. I'm not sure if he got the Sword Art summoner's name from the highly popular animation Sword Art Online. Which obviously we all love because we're in Japan. But so talk a little bit about them. So Stake obviously is one of the most prolific players coming in from Yoe Flash Wolves. He's very known for his OP hairstyle. I don't know if you watch World Championships, but he has like a really nice afro, and everybody knows Stake New Pai from his freaking OP hairstyle. He's awesome. But when it comes to Stake, what his problem is, he's very, very aggressive. He's very aggressive. He kind of plays like Wicked from the former Evil Genius, or now he's a top laner for a lot Team Alliance. And so he plays a lot like Wicked. He's very aggressive. He plays with a mentality that there is no jungler, and so he always gets ganked.
That's for sure.
As well as tower dive very early in the game. And he doesn't put a lot of work into vision control. So if Destination FM were to try and do anything with Yoe tonight, it will be trying to play up this top lane with Stake, who arguably is a little bit of a weakling because of how he lacks. He's too aggressive in that case.
Yeah, I think if they do have a weak point, it's probably that top lane, but we'll see.
And if you guys don't know, because, okay, Yoe Flash Wolf is now playing, finished the LNL season, which is the Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau Professional League by Garena, and they were in 3rd and 4th place, and so they will be joining the GPL season from next season onwards. So if you guys are following the GPL, do check them out. But for now, maybe some of you who are the English speakers don't actually watch the LNL, or you don't have the opportunity, or you don't know where to find them. So I'm talking a little bit about Yoe as well, right? So the mid laner, or Feng Tang Maple, he's actually really young. He's 16 years old, and he's very known for his Lulu mid.
Lulu in the mid lane.
So yes, he's very known for Lulu and Kassadin. He's been playing a lot of Lulu for half a month now in the LNL season, and it's a meta, it's not a meta ban, but it's a specific ban when it comes to playing against the Flash Wolves, that they will definitely ban out Kassadin as well as Lulu. And if Kassadin or Lulu is banned, or both of them are banned, what Maple likes to do is likes to take the Orianna, the Riven, or the Nidalee. Obviously, today we're going to play on the 3.15 patch because the 4.1 patch is not up yet. A lot of changes coming in. I'm really excited about the Annie change. The Riven change, you know, very much. She got nerfed a lot, which is really sad. But
it's all right. You'll have Tibbers up
Tibbers,
constantly, 100% of the time.
Yeah, like almost permanent Annie.
More
Tibbers.
More bears all over the map.
It is pretty exciting. So Maple, yes, and let's talk a little bit about Refrain or Dong Dong. He likes to play the Elise. Obviously, it's a huge meta ban right now, so I would expect DetFM, if they do watch the Flash Wolf games, to actually ban out Elise, because it's just such a strong priority pick for almost every team that's in competitive play right now. And Mundo is she doesn't know. Refrain doesn't play a lot of Mundo. He actually plays a lot of Lee Sin in the jungle, which a lot of players do play. If those two are banned out, he likes to play Mundo or Olaf. So DetFM coming in, if they actually watch the games, I would say the 3 bans that they will take out might be Elise, Mundo, and Shyvana.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And obviously, these are all really strong champions that you see a lot of right now. So when you're a team that can pick up those champions that are in the flavor of the month zone, you're going to be able to play well. And that's exactly, I think, what the Flash Wolves have been capitalizing on recently.
And so tell me a little bit about like how DetFM plays, or what their playstyle is.
So as we talked a little bit about earlier, is really the star of the show for Detonation FM is Eudipone, or Eudiproid. I guess we'll have to call him by his current summoner name. So Eudiproid. Eudiproid is extremely strong for all extents and purposes compared to the rest of the team. So really what Detonation FM likes to do is just make sure he gets big. They want to make sure he's getting the kills, he's getting the farm, and he's able to carry the game for him. If they're not able to get Eudipone going, look for them to get ganks maybe in the mid lane, because Saros is another really strong player for Detonation FM as well. So if it's really, when you see Detonation FM do well, it's because either their mid lane or their AD player are doing well. Right,
and so I think what we saw with Eudipone in the IEM is he went top lane with Riven and stuff. So very excited to see what actually he plays when he's going to play the usual AD carry, because it's so different now with the Season 4 meta coming in. You have such a strong support system right now. You know, you have strong AP support players like Annie coming out, where they can actually, there's so much more gold income coming in for the support players that you can actually buy. You can actually buy AP items right now, and so I need you to go into game.
All right, are we here? Are we gonna go find it?
That's extremely loud, but yes. Well, I think I have with you. I'm gonna send it to you. Hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. Where are you? Here you are.
Dun, dun. So we're gonna jump into game here.
We're not gonna jump into game as of yet because we're gonna
the lobby.
we're gonna jump into the lobby. That's for sure. But yeah, so Stake is going to be their each weakness. But let's talk a little bit about like Flash Wolves' playstyle when it comes to early game or mid game or even late game. So I've heard talks, and I've even talked to the coaches and the manager a couple of days back on what they think about their team as of now and what their weaknesses is and what their strength is. And so I've got like tons of notes here, so I came prepared, people. I came prepared. So let's talk about their playstyle. They have a similar playstyle to Detonation FM because it's protect the AD carry. So protect NL or never loses. They like to actually put support, roam to mid to try and gank and to do early engages and to push turrets really quickly. So Flash Wolves is very known for being very aggressive very early in the game. They like to push for objectives and end the game really early. So what I've heard is they don't like to stretch game out. They don't like to go into late games. They finish games really early, 30-minute games. They don't pass that 1 hour mark, which no games really do that much. But they don't really pass the 40-minute mark, so they don't like to go late game. They like to finish their games early, push for advantage. So if they have a global goal advantage, what they'll do is they'll push for it really quickly. They don't want to extend the game. They don't want to push their lead even bigger. They just want to finish the game. And their weaknesses with that is if they lose early in the game, they will get snowballed hard against them, and so it's a big problem from them. Yes. I'm trying to figure out if my mic and everything is okay. I think it's okay because Andreas is just doing his own thing, so he's not saying anything yet, which is a good thing because if not, he'd be like writing stuff and be like, you need to do this, you need to do this. He hasn't said anything to me yet, so I'm happy about it. So DetFM is not in the game yet. I'm trying to figure what's happening, and
well, as we wait for them to come, as Ferlin was talking about earlier, I'd just like to point back to Maple a little bit, the mid laner for the Flash Wolves, and that Lulu pick. Playing a lot of that in the last half month actually helped his team win the Dell Invitational using a lot of that Lulu. And so I don't know how many of you have been watching League of Legends recently, but we actually saw Lulu, I believe it was yesterday.
No, it's
bot lane.
No.
In replacing the AD carry. It was 2 days ago?
Yeah, a couple of days back. So it's the GPL Winter Finals. It was TPA playing. So Bebe, I'm pronouncing it wrong again. BB, he's going to kill me. So I actually met BB in IEM Singapore. And I came, so they knew who I was, and they obviously know who they were. So I just went up and like, yo, baby, and he's just laughing. He's like, my name is BB, right? And I'm like, crap, why do I always say the wrong thing at the wrong time? So I apologize for saying that again. It's BB. He played Lulu. Yeah, so he played AP Lulu in the bot lane.
In place of the AD carry.
But so they did win, right? TPA won the Winter Champion, so that's fabulous for them.
You can actually go look up Monte Cristo. Actually did calculations onto how that compared to having an AD carry in that position. Really good read if you want to go check it out. I won't spoil it for you because got to give him all the credit there.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out if we can have more than 2 spectators in the thing because we have a special guest caster we're bringing in tonight. So I hope we can.
Won't be able to get into picks and bans, but if we can get him friends with somebody, you can spectate on the friends list.
Well, you can't spectate unless you get the game starts, right?
Right. So picks and bans are going to have to happen here.
Okay.
Which they always do here at JCG. The picks and bans, can't get them anywhere else.
Can't get them anywhere. We can barely hear the you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Be loud, me.
Be loud.
Hello. It's a mystery.
It's always a mystery when it comes to
I hope you can hear me, because we can read you, sort of. So yeah, as Ferlin said, we are just waiting for all the players to get together here. Some quick, maybe, we see a lot of questions coming out, so to knock some of those down real quick. Normally, of course, in Japan here, we're playing on the NA server. There is no Japanese server yet. We're hoping for that one pretty soon here. But tonight, we will actually be playing on the Taiwanese server.
Yes, of course, we have to mention that. We are going to play on the Taiwanese server, so Garena is very nice to actually lend us a couple of accounts for today. So you actually will see there's some of this name compared to before where we don't have some of the names and stuff. So, yeah, and Dres tell me I'm too loud.
No surprises there.
I don't
I
even
mean,
need a mic.
yeah, you could share mine, and you'd still hear her just fine.
So I do a lot of event emceeing, so a lot of concert emceeing and stuff. And usually when I do my rehearsals, I actually don't even need the mic. I'm just that loud. It's really very sad because the next actor is my voice and stuff like that. But tonight it's going to be like some kind of cold, my voice loud. But we have a very special guest caster today. So to make sure before I invite him in, this gets settled because his voice is
No good. Dun 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 dun. All right. Awesome. So you can't hear us. What if I do sign? Ah, can you hear me? Can you? Ears. You. Me. Talking. Nothing. Awesome. Oh yeah, see there's no lights coming up. Fantastic. They can't hear me, so why am I talking? Dun 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 dun. This is hilarious.
We can hear the guy. Wait, what?
Wait, what? It works. Her mic is not working. Wait. I know, right? Sorry, Badonkadonk 55. We do it for you.
Her mic works now. Wait, what? I'm sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to figure it out as we go on as well.
Well, that's the cable. Careful.
We lost the stream a little bit. Andreas. Keep it together, son. Keep it together.
The girls doesn't. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Robok Rip. Well, that's
I apologize if you can hear me or you can't hear me. That we have a couple of microphone issues for tonight. We actually have a lot of problems tonight, and so if you can't hear me, then I look crazy because I look like I'm talking when there's no sound coming out. But tonight, if you're just joining us, it is the JCG International Show match between the Taiwanese team YoeFW and the Japanese team Detonation Focus Mid. And we're just about to go into game. I need you to tell everybody to stop. Don't go into game first.
Don't go into game.
Don't on the game first, because the Japanese stream actually is encountering a little bit of a problems too. So apparently sometimes the audio works for us and sometimes it doesn't. So we will try to figure it out. I apologize.
So, just like the scene here in Japan, we the streamers apparently are also in our infancy, working on a few baby steps. It can be difficult sometimes. So we do appreciate A, your feedback, letting us know what's not working, and B, your patience to bear with us, because, yeah, I don't know what's going on half the time either. So.
Okay. 大家好，不好意思，我们现在有一点我们的麦克风的有一点不稳定，所以我们尽快会进去游戏里面，我们大概5到10分钟左右会进去游戏，但是现在因为有麦克风的trouble， 所以我们不能 start game， 现在要等一下 ，OK？ Yeah, but tonight it's going to be very exciting. Just want to make sure that we have all the things in check. Yeah. If you can hear me, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to any Japanese viewers that are actually here to move on to the Japanese stream, because unfortunately this is going to be the English stream. There is a Japanese stream as well, so どうも皆さんこんにちはこんばんは、フィアレンよしみです、彼が コーリー・スワンソンです。今回は、こちらの方が、英語配信となっておりますので、もし、日本人の、方々がいらっしゃったら、日本語の配信もやっていますので、そちらに、移動してください。情報の方は JCG のサイトに行けば、すぐそこにリンクが貼っておりますので、そこに、移動してください。よろしくお願いします。Okay, so yeah, if you're just watching and you're not really understanding what the hell is going on, I had to explain in English, Mandarin as well as Japanese to make sure everybody's happy because we are the Japan esports here in Japan, and if you're wondering why it's English, we do have a Japanese stream, and just letting Japanese viewers know that, you know, if you prefer the Japanese stuff, go over. Sticks. New Pie says hi to me. Hi, New Pie, if you're watching the stream, which is weird if you're watching the stream. You shouldn't be watching the stream.
Stop stream sniping.
Stop stream sniping, yes. Aw, I like Stick. I like his hair. His hair is really OP. Like, if I ever get to meet him, I want to picture, I want to touch his hair and be like, this is OP hair. I want to have an afro, too.
Yeah, so you might have actually gotten to see that hair at Worlds. Unfortunately, the Gamini Bears did make it into the round of 8 at Worlds, and then promptly made a quick exit after that. But actually, Fairland mentioned it earlier, playing as the Flash Wolves, they've been looking really strong lately.
So in Taiwan, there is a top 4 teams right now, right? And it's in no particular order. It's AHQ, TPA, TPS, as well as the UA Flash Wolves. And so those are the top 4 teams that came out from the LNL. And obviously, in the GPL winter season, it is the TPA who's first, and second coming in is TPS. So it's a huge matchup between the 4 teams right there, and they're all very strong. And it really depends on the meta play that's coming in season 4, the 2014 season, how this will all play out. But for the UA Flash Wolf, unfortunately, it's a very interesting thing that's happening today, because today it's actually the last live broadcast for the mid player Maple, because he's 16 years old and they have qualified for the GPL season coming up, and he unfortunately can't play because he hasn't hit that 17-year-old mark yet, and today will be his last day as a starting lineup member. And in an official broadcast, sort of, he will still be in the team, but he will be a sub player. And they are now recruiting the new meat players, actually trying out members and see what's happening with that. And so I'm really excited to see how he will play today. And ooh,
all right, that's great, wonderful. That's okay. It's all good. Tell us more about Maple and how he is too young to play League of Legends.
16-year-old boy. Oh. How about you talk a little bit, and I want to make sure, because here in JCG, we multitask all the time. While I'm talking to you guys, I also have to talk to the Taiwanese team in Taiwanese. I have to talk to the Japanese team in Japanese, and I have to speak to you guys in English. So if I am sounding like a crazy person, please don't be mad at me. I unfortunately am a crazy person by nature. I'm just a little bit more crazier when it comes to stream time. So yes, apparently we are back into game. And
I think it was just the timer ran out. We were working so long on that. So, but yeah, all right. So as you get everything settled, we will get everybody in here shortly. Make sure that we get the Japanese stream up, running perfectly. Thank you, remember? What a great guy.
Shout out to everybody who's watching the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Very excited to actually start up the English broadcast again. Because I think the past week or so there was a Reddit thread about the JCG and the English broadcast. Unfortunately, because I not only do esports, I have other work commitments as well. Yeah, I travel a lot and stuff like that.
She's a busy woman.
I am in high demand. No, I'm a hard worker. I do a lot of labor work for people. No, so it's very hard for me to commit time into doing everything at the same time. But we are starting up the Japan esports English, the JCG English broadcast. So we are looking for casters. We are looking for people to help us with the stream. So if you're in Tokyo, actually, specifically in Tokyo, and you can commit time to streaming, do ping us over at JCG, and we will get together and see if we can make new Magic Stream things happen together.
Yeah, you can hang out with her and me.
And we can hang out together, ladies and gentlemen. That would be very fun. But tonight we are going to have a very, very special guest caster. He's my friend. We've met in IM Singapore. He is one of the casters IM Singapore. You may have known him. It is Rapid Casting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Rapid Casting.
Yay, everybody clapping. No, just kidding.
Yeah, Rapid.
Thank you so much.
Rapid,
hopefully my volume
you can't see
is
Rapid on stream,
okay with
but,
everybody else's.
Let's give a quick shout out to Rapid. Thank you so much for coming, Reed. How are you doing, Rapid?
I'm doing pretty well. It's currently 5 o'clock in the morning, and thankfully I've been running on Japan time this whole time. That's my excuse, so that's what I'm going to use. But yeah, it's good to be here with everybody. So hopefully everything sounds good. We can go ahead and get into game. But yeah, exciting to be a part of the JCG show match.
Yes, we're very, very excited to have you here. Obviously, because I'm not a caster myself, so I'm very excited to have you help us with the casting today. Unfortunately, I can't hear you very well. We have to kind of tune it up a little bit to make sure we can actually hear Rapid a little bit louder. But tell us a bit about yourself, Rapid, what you do and what kind of involvement you are with esports, and in particular League of Legends.
All right, well, I started casting League of Legends about 2 or 3 years ago. Started casting collegiate League of Legends with some college teams around North America, and then got to know some pro players who were in college, casted some of their scrims, then casted them in tournaments, and then got to where I was casting pretty much all the teams that are in LCS right now, back before LCS was around. So it was really cool to become like such a big part of North American esports, and then once LCS started, I started getting involved in the challenger scene and casting a lot of challenger teams as they were sort of up and coming teams, and then eventually like qualifying for LCS. And so that's mainly what I do right now is I cast challenger League of Legends in North America, a little bit in Europe, and then I do some international events around the world, like unto the JCG show match that we're having here tonight.
Yay! So we met at IEM Singapore. How was that experience for you going to Singapore and casting something so big like the IEM, the International Master Singapore?
Well, I think there's about a 15-hour time difference between you and I right now. So I think there was about 16 or 17 hours time difference when I was in Singapore. And that was a little bit rough to get used to, but it was great to be there. Singapore is an amazing place, and actually did stop through Tokyo Narita Airport while I was coming here. So I didn't get to go outside the airport, unfortunately, but it was nice to get a chance to travel internationally and see not only a bunch of the teams and the fans there at IEM Singapore, but also DetNation, who were there as well. And I think that's kind of the context that I got to know you in. And unfortunately, Corey wasn't there, but if he had been, it would have been
a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Absolutely. So even though I didn't get to meet you then, we get to cast here tonight, so it's all good.
Yeah, so what do you think about DetNation? Obviously, well, no, their star player Udapon or Udaproid wasn't able to get into IEM Singapore at that time, but what do you think of their performance despite Udapon not being there at that time?
Okay, I heard that Nation was coming to IEM Singapore right before I got on the flight to go over there, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cool, because even if for people who from North America who don't know about DetNation FM or about Japanese esports, they know Udapon or Udaproid as he's known now from North American solo queue, because he and I think Saros for the longest time were way up in Challenger. They were ridiculously good players, and I actually told some of my pro North American friends, hey, you know, I'm casting these Udaproid in a Japanese tournament, and he's like, wait, why is he playing in a Japanese tournament? I was like, you know, he's Japanese, and he's like, what? So to see the incredible things that not only DetNation can do, but DetNation and Rampage both have teams in the top 50 teams in North America. They're both in Challenger. I think Rampage is currently like in the top 10 teams in Challenger. Like those guys are ridiculously good. And DetNation too. I think they have two teams. There's DetNation, there's Focus Me and Focus You. And I think Focus Me is a little bit higher ranked than Focus You, but they've been playing a lot of ranked fives, scrimming against a lot of North American teams games too, and that's really cool to see a team, even though they are from Japan, even though they are playing with about 150 to 200 ping, still having a lot of success over on the North American servers, and that really sets them up. I guess they're going to be really well prepared once Riot servers finally do make their way over to Japan eventually.
Right. I want to really extend a really huge thank you for coming out tonight. I know it's really late for you. It's 5 a.m. Where you're from. Where are you from again? Which part of the States?
I am from Dallas, Texas, so
Dallas.
right in the middle.
So it's really late right there now. So thank you for actually doing this with us today. We're just going to make sure everything is okay. The Japanese stream will be mirroring us, so we can go ahead and start the game. So just let the guys know that we are ready.
All right.
Rapid, do you want to just join in real quick in the spectator?
Can he get in? Do we have time?
I am going to attempt that. I have exactly one friend on my friends list here, so I'm not totally lonely. But
so I
hopefully I
sent
should be
you
able to.
on the client the stuff you need to know, and so just make sure you can get in. Let me know if you're in, or if you see it or anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for the hiccup that we're having. I know we're 13 minutes past game start time, and we should be starting in the next minute or two. I'm lying. I'm definitely lying. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, I've actually managed to navigate my way
and so
through the Taiwanese client.
I didn't know you were fluent in is this
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Rapid?
See, I'm actually just fluent in League of Legends, so I was able to just close my eyes, click through all the menus, and somehow I made it here.
Okay, so let us start the game. I think he's done. Go.
Yeah, no, we were just waiting for this game to get going, and we will jump into picks and bans right away here, any second.
Okay, don't spam on the Twitch chat, people. YoeFW will start on the blue side for the first game, and we're just making sure they will start the game. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
We are all actually in lobby. I'm not sure why the game isn't starting yet. Oh, here we go, and we're gonna move into the ban and pick phase. So the first ban will be coming out from DetFM. Rapid, what do you think the bans will be coming out?
Well, at least see, I know most of the Detonation players from seeing them play in North America, so they actually have a little bit of a different picks. When YoeFW plays in North America, he plays literally every role, and so it's kind of hard to predict what he's going to play there. But in competitive play, especially here at the AD carry position, I know he's played a ton of different positions out there, but as kind of the undisputed carry for the team. Like you said, when Detonation do well, it's because Saros or YoeFW do a phenomenal job. So I'm expecting to see at least both of them very, very focused. But right now we're just banning straight up OP champions.
That is true. So we already see a Kassadin ban coming out. Obviously that's a must ban sort of thing. But at the same time, Kassadin is Maple or Flash Wolves' mid player Maple. His first pick is always going to be Kassadin. That's his favorite comfort champion, and so it's amazing that they know that and they banned him out for this. Right,
and the rest of this is starting to look like just strong champions currently. Evelyn, we've got Yasuo. Nobody really knows how. He's not been out long enough. There's Riven. You see anything special here, Rapid?
Well, it's actually kind of interesting when you look at the Riven ban. That's probably actually a ban against mid lane Riven there for Saros. So when you think about Riven especially, keep in mind this game is being played on the 3.15 patch. It's not on the 4.1 patch that was just released for Europe and North America. So we're a patch behind. Riven's still extremely strong in whatever role you want to play. And I know actually in a lot of Taiwanese esports, they actually like playing Riven jungle. So taking that champion away removes it from both mid, top, and the jungle role. So nice bans there, but you can see the first pick Annie there for Detonation.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty standard. Annie's left open. You really want to grab her. She's still really strong. Like you said, we're still playing on that 3.15 patch. Hasn't received any of her changes yet. So she's going to be really strong. And then if we actually take a look at the Flash Wolves over here, this is something Ferlin talked about.
Yes.
Not surprised by these picks at all. This is Refane's favorite champion in the jungle, and Steak loves Shyvana.
Yeah, so that's their two top picks for right now with this meta. They love Refrain loves his Elise, and Steak absolutely loves Shyvana. At the same time, it is a OP champion pick right now, so I'm very surprised that these two are left open. I would think Elise would come in as a first ban, but I'm very surprised that she's led through all the way to the pick phase.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised about that too. And as far as Steak's concerned, for the longest time, Renekton was the best top lane champion you could possibly hope for. And then Steak was one of the main innovators that made Shyvana top lane work. It's his main champion, like you said. And keep in mind, YoeFW Wolves, they have 3 junglers on their team. They just sort of switch between them. And I think Refrain's kind of their starting jungler right now, and he plays a ton of Elise. So the biggest thing, though, is if you're looking across the board there at Detonation, is the Rengar pick there. That is going to be huge for their top lane.
That is going to be very huge for the top lane. Okay, I don't really know a lot about DetFM, to be fairly honest with you, but I know a little bit about YoE Flash Wolves, and all the 4 picks that they have picked up today are all very comfort champions for them. So Karma is Sword Art's new favorite champion. He loves to play his Thresh, his Annie, and his Leona, and he has been practicing a lot of Karma lately, and is one of his comfort champions of the moment right now. And with NL as well, his 4 top favorite ADC that he plays is the Caitlyn. He loves his Lucian, his Sivir, and Jinx. So all the picks that they are very comfortable with are all given to them. And on the other hand, we see DetFM. We do see the Annie pick coming out with the Vayne, so that's a very, very aggressive lane coming out with there. So I'm interested to see what Maple is going to come up with as his mid pick. Really, I would think. There we go. It's the Lulu. It's his
left
favorite
open, and there
champion.
she is.
Oh man!
I have no idea what's going to happen with this, because the Flash Wolves initially they got everything that they wanted, so this is going to be very scary for Destination FM.
Yeah,
actually.
Lulu left to the very end there. That's going to be a fun time to watch. I hope you are all tuning in. Tell your friends. Maple, you're not going to see a better mid Lulu anytime soon. Taking a quick look over back at Detonation FM, you did mention YoeFW is going to be play Vayne. That's actually one of his favorite AD carries, probably his favorite AD carry. So we talk about comfort champs for the Flash Wolves. This is YoeFW's favorite AD carry. One thing that'll be interesting to see is with Annie, you have such presence in lane, and Vayne early just is not going to want to necessarily duel. If you can get a good stun and maybe knock him into the wall, yeah, but Jinx, not having been nerfed, she'll get that in the 4.1 patch, is a huge lane bully, a huge presence. She does everything in lane, and so I'll be interested to see if they even have these two lane against each other.
I'm actually just interested to see, if YoeFW or Seros is able to really snowball into this and really carry the game. Obviously, if YoeFW is doing well, the team will do well.
Right.
So Rapid, give me your pick. What do you think about this game 1? Who will it go to just by this ban and pick phase?
All right, yeah, a couple of really cool things. One, Saros' choice of AP carry is a Xerath. So if you're playing Xerath, you want to play for that late game. Once you hit level 9, level 11, both huge power spikes, a really strong late game champion. Same thing with Vayne. So when you look at Detonation's team comp, they're all about that late game. So maybe a little bit weak early on. They're running double cleanse as well. So that's not an early game, I want to win my lane sort of focus. That is, when it gets late game, when I get hit by a CC in a team fight, I want to be able to move around in it. But if you look at the YoeFW Wolves, like you guys said, it's just comfort picks across the board. Sword Art got his Karma, and there's also that Jinx, Lulu, bottom lane. It's just... This is going to be an absolutely incredible game, no matter where the champions go. Because I was expecting maybe a mid lane Lulu or a support Lulu, and then you can put Karma in both of those places too. So there is that versatility. But like you said, huge comfort picks across the board for YoeFW Wolves.
It's going to be really interesting because we don't really see a lot of mid Lulu coming out in competitive play. But obviously, the Flash Wolves, Maple, he loves his Lulu in the mid game, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna dominate that lane because it is his favorite champion at the moment, and we don't see a lot of Xerath in the mid lane against a Lulu.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna ask who wins that matchup. When was the last time you saw Xerath versus a Lulu in the mid lane?
Well, that's the
What do you
great thing
think,
about.
Rapid? Tell me, what do you think this mid lane is going to? How is it going to play out if there is no gank and there is no other presence from the other lanes, no roamings coming from the other lanes? What do you think this mid lane matchup was going to be like?
Well, I'm very fortunate that there's a North American player who is renowned for his AP Lulu, and
Right.
it's Zamfira. He's is the AP carry for cognitive gaming, and he said, I'm never going to play Lulu again because they totally nerfed her in season 4 patches, so just never going to play her again. He actually does still play her, but actually takes some time to scale up, so that is going to be something that we have to take a look at, and appear to have dropped from the lobbies. So
Yeah, looks like we might have the same problem here.
Yeah, looks like we are dropped out from the game. Let's just go back to the studio real quick. I'm terribly apologize for this. I think we might have a problem with the Taiwanese servers. We have this problem before with the Taiwanese servers, and it's yeah, but we're trying to make sure it's it works. I'm really apologize for this again. I'm sorry, Rapid. This is the first time for you trying to figure this out. We have this problem before, and the Taiwanese servers are actually very unstable.
Especially when you access from abroad.
oh
Bear
my,
with us.
well, I'm definitely accessing them from abroad, so I don't think it gets much more abroad than this.
All right, so we are going to remake here pretty quickly. I'll let you know, Rapid, when it comes back up. We're just going to jump through, get those picks in to make sure we can get started right away. We're just making the game, making sure everybody's pings are normalized. It looks like it might have been a connection problem here. So
Yeah, so the problem was that the DTFM's ping is very high because obviously we're playing from Japan, and we're playing on the Taiwanese servers, and we have to host the games to get a lower latency, a lower ping, and the ping's a little bit too high for them right now, and there are concerns when it comes to games like that it has to be fair, and it has to be a fair ping to be. So hopefully we can get into game really quickly. It's going to be the same bands, the same picks, and let's see how it goes. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm really excited to get into this game, not only because I get to cast, Japanese esports. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart because at least for the last year or so, it's been, they're the big 8 teams in LCS, and all of them have been competing on the world stage, and it's, they get a lot of press, but I've been more involved in like the challenger esports scene, where you get to see some incredible teams, incredible players that maybe not a lot of people know about. And that's one of the reasons I was so excited to be a part of the JCG broadcast, because I'm not sure a lot of people, and as I was like telling all my friends about this, I was like, hey, you got to come watch Japanese esports. They're playing against Taiwan. And my friends were just like, I don't know about any teams in either one of those regions. And it was just really, really cool to see some new teams with some incredibly skilled players play up against each other tonight in the JCG show match.
That is true. Whenever I speak to people from across the sea, from NA or from EU, they don't really know what's happening with Japan. Obviously, the big problem is we don't have our own servers yet. Fingers crossed that we'll have our servers by this year. Latest updates from Riot do say that we're going to have our servers anywhere from spring to summer.
So let's hope for spring.
So obviously we're like, spring, let's do this. But most likely it will be a summer launch for Japan. But once it happens, we're very excited to have all our accounts, just like everything just move to Japan, because I have my NA account, I have my EU West account, which by the way has a lot of problems as well. But I'm very excited to have this Japanese server.
Yeah.
So when it launches, Rapid, please join us in Japan as well.
You can play on the 120 ping the other way.
Yeah, I've already completed the tutorial on the Taiwanese client, and actually wasn't that bad. I have about 220 ping to the Taiwanese Garena servers, so it was interesting. But at the same time, I do love getting to know other regions. I remember when Turkey first came out, when they first got their servers, and the same thing for the CIS servers that Riot got. It was just so awesome to like play just like some ARAMs with random people on different servers, and they're just like, why are you so bad? understand why you only level 1. Well, it's because I'm from North
Wait, so
America.
Rapid, tell us a little bit about what are you going to be doing for 2014 or the next couple months. What are you going to be busy with? Like, which tournaments are you going to be casting for the next couple months?
Well, there is a lot still up in the air, but at least for last weekend and then this coming weekend, I've been casting. Riot's been putting a lot of effort, a lot of focus on the collegiate esports scene.
Right.
And that's actually where I first started casting. And so it's nice to be able to return to that. I've been casting some qualifiers for their Riot North American Collegiate Championships. That's the name of the tournament. So there are a couple of different collegiate esports organizations that have qualifiers for that main tournament. And this last season, I just got done casting for NACL in the challenger scene, and they're actually hosting the playoff bracket for that tournament. There's $100,000 of prizing on the line in scholarships. So these collegiate teams can compete for this incredible amount of prize money that all goes towards their education and helps, take that burden off them and helps them, win money that they can definitely use. And so I'll be working with the Riot North American Collegiate Championships. And then, of course, Season 2 of NACL is right around the corner, coming up in mid-February. So that's going to be out there. There's a lot of esports for North America and the rest of the world, too. Just an illustration here for JCG. So there's a ton of stuff out there, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
That is very amazing. Obviously, we all know about the collegiate stuff. There's the Coke League. I mean, it's all very, very exciting for the 2014 season. And we so look forward to you just casting for so many different things, especially for coming out here. Well, not coming out to Tokyo, obviously. Just coming out at 5 a.m. in the morning to help us with this. And if you guys don't know and wondering, who the hell is that voice that's not on screen? It is the wonderful, the impeccable, the amazing Rapid Casting, aka Reed. It's amazing to really come out here to help us with all this today. We are getting into game. We have done the banks and picks. We're just waiting for the delay to really finish and to start the game. I apologize. We are about half an hour late into this. It will be the JCG International Show match tonight between the Taiwanese team YoeFW, also known as the former Gamania Bears of the Season 3 World Championships, and the other team will be Japan's very own Detonation Focus Mid. It will be a best of 3 games tonight. We're just about getting ready to get into game 1. There is a little bit of a problem with the servers tonight, so I am sorry for all this troubles that we're going through, but we are getting to game in the next 2 or 3 minutes. I am not lying this time around unless the game drops out again, which hopefully it wouldn't, but
just don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh. Yes, if you're interested to follow Rapid Casting, go ahead, follow him on Rapid Casting on Twitter. He has his own Facebook page as well. Corey has his own as well. So do follow these awesome gentlemen and see what they're going to be up to the next couple weeks ahead of us. But yes, we are loading into game. It's a minute into game. We have a fantastic lineup. I don't think we are gonna load into game. Then you can see who are the champions.
Are we loading into game?
We are loading into game. We are a minute away from loading into game. But obviously, my matchup of the day today will be that mid matchup. It will be a mid Lulu coming up from Maple from the Flash Wolves and against Seros DTFM. Seros's Zerath. It is a very interesting.
Zerath.
That's a say it for me once.
We're gonna be taking a look at Detonation FM. Seros Zerath.
Zerath. Okay, see? Now I
No
fail
problem.
at English. I can't do English anymore. I shall change to just sticking with Mandarin and Japanese for now.
Okay, well, as long as I don't have to cast in Mandarin or Japanese, I'm totally okay with that. My favorite thing is when Zerath and Varus are on the same team, because then you have to say Zerath, Varus, and it's just like, I always mess that up. But thankfully, it's only Zerath on Seros, and I'll try to, live up to my name and pronounce things correctly at the same time. But Detonation FM, they're going to make it hard on me as a caster, and maybe with this team composition, make it a little bit hard on YoeFW as well.
Right. We are going to game. The game is loading in already, but there seems to be a huge problem coming in from Detonation FM. 2 players actually say they have a 400 ping.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that works out. I would not want to play on 400 ping. Hopefully that gets resolved. Maybe it's just a spike in the system here. Because we are at the loading screen. So let me make sure everything is okay.
We're at the loading screen right now. Unfortunately, there is going to be 2 players with a 400 ping. We will try to figure it out because no one wants to play on a 400 ping. We already have difficulty playing on like a 200 ping, much less a 400 ping. But hopefully, we get this figured out and get things sorted out for these people right here. Tonight is going to be JCG International Show Match. If you are just joining us, we are 30 minutes behind schedule, and it's our fault. Yes, it is our fault. We control the Taiwanese servers, that's why. No, there's a lot of issues that's coming up with streams. Obviously, yesterday in game as well, there was a little bit of problem with the LCS. But we are into game right now, so let's just move into game and see what's happening.
So we are going to pause as this gets started up here. We'll have to see how that plays out. It looks like it's Gorilla, and I didn't see. I think it might have been Aneko who dropped out. Well, we do have a little bit of downtime really quick here. I would like to draw some attention to Detonation FM. On Lee Sin right now is Sid Machine. So this is Sid Machine, the guy we talked about earlier. He was picked up, used to play mid, moved to jungle, I think. Might have it backwards. And then joining Detonation FM was brought on as a support. So today it looks like he's actually going to be playing in the jungle role for the first game. And that's something he's familiar with and something he's pretty good at because we will not be seeing President Ma here in Game 1.
Yeah, that's obviously 400 ping is just not playable at this time right now, but we can see your hand, Andreas. Oh yeah. Right, so I apologize, Rapid. We're just trying to figure out the whole ping issue right now. 400 ping is just not playable for a international show match. I'm just going to quickly explain this in Mandarin for all those people who don't understand English. 我们现在已经开始游戏了，但是我们在日本的队伍的话，有2个人在400的ping，然后就是400的ping的话就很难玩，所以我们再等一下，要解除他们这个400的ping的问题。能够现在玩的话，一定最好，但是400的ping真是很难玩，所以我们要跟日本的队伍沟通一下，问他们能不能进来玩那个游戏。
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh man, reconnects, disconnects. Story of our life here on the Taiwan server, huh?
Yes. You know, this is a problem a lot of streams, you know, has with, obviously. Even if you look at LCS yesterday, obviously it's the EU LCS. It's always going to be a minor problem. It's always fun to have minor problems. But Rapid, what is your suggestions and solutions when it comes to server issues like this? When you're casting, because I'm sure there must be a couple problems that you've gone into. Even maybe not because you do a lot of local stuff, right? So there's no like international barriers and stuff. But what do you do when there's stream problems?
Well, a lot of times that can be fixed by disconnecting and reconnecting. I know in North America, sometimes when you disconnect, when you load into a game, you're going to have a lot of, depending on which internet service provider you have, there may be a lot of lag. And so sometimes we'd have to restart games and just wait until players, get good servers to play on. But by and large, you just have to kind of either pause and wait it out, or maybe sometimes you can switch to another computer. I know I myself have had some pretty bad problems with lag in the past, but having just upgraded my my internet connection so that I can stream, it's actually been really, really nice for me. But apparently not quite so nice for guys like Aneko, who's been coming in and out, and a couple of the players from Detonation who are having these ping issues. So maybe reconnecting will just be enough to fix their issues for them, but it's not looking good so far.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking very good. We had a little bit of a mic problem issue as well, but I think we're settling it right now. If you're just joining us, the reason why we're having such a huge pause in the game is because we are playing on the Taiwanese server tonight, and it looks to seem like the Taiwanese servers are experiencing a little bit of a server issue problem, as well as because we are connecting from Japan. Our pings for 2 of the players is actually 400 ping right now, and we're trying to figure it out because if you're on a professional level, you never want to play with a 400 ping.
I don't think anybody wants to play with a 400 ping.
Yeah, nobody wants to play 400 ping. But we're gonna go back to the studio real quick just to make sure people don't stare at the game counting down. That's not very fun. You want to see beautiful correspondence.
No, I can stare at the game for you, so that's not a problem here.
So 如果你们刚刚来看我们的直播的话，我们现在在等那个游戏开始，因为我们现在今天玩的在台服，然后台服好像今天有一点问题，然后那个我们在日本玩对吗？所以进去台湾的服的时候，我们现在两个选手他们现在有400的ping，然后就不能玩400的ping，所以我们现在就要解除这个问题一下子，就我们慢慢等我们一下子 ，OK? Right. So it's hard to speak Mandarin nowadays because I don't practice my Mandarin anymore, and I'm really terrible at this. Rapid, I cannot apologize to you anymore for just sticking with us, even though it's the AM for you.
Oh no, I'm totally glad to be here. I mean, I'm just glad I get to be a part of this, and I think it's esports as a whole, regardless of what country is involved in it, it's something that takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication and a lot of time and effort, and it's not something that you can expect to just be totally perfect, totally flawless. I mean, even some of the best productions in the world have their own fair share of issues, but it's all about, you know, taking the dream that is esports and making it a reality. And while the reality may have a little bit of lag here tonight, it's just nice to be a part of it. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and this is a great place to start organizing a lot of these international show matches. I think this is the 4th international show match that JCG has had.
Correct.
So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff out there. I think just the JCG season should be starting up here in not too long. So there's a lot more esports out there, not just for Japan, but also for Taiwan, for Southeast Asia. I know GPL just finished an incredible winter season with some of the best grand finals I have ever seen. Like, those games were great, and looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Yoey Flash Wolves there as well.
Yeah, and so actually Reed brings up a great point talking about, you know, international leagues and these small, lesser-known leagues. We do appreciate you taking the time. Maybe you're here for the Yoey Flash Wolves. Maybe you're here to see what's going on in Japan esports. If that is something that interests you, I believe it's January 25th and 26th. We have the downtime. Why not talk about it?
Right.
January 25th, 26th, it will be the JCG Grand Championship.
Right, so Rapid, if you don't know about this yet, so on the 25th and the 26th of January, we are going to have the JCG 2013 finals, because we played half a year of League of Legends as well as StarCraft 2. And so this month on the 25th and 26th, we will be playing the grand finals. I think the prize money is 1 million, no, about 700,000 yen, 800,000 yen in total. It's about, I don't know, 8,000.
Yeah, 8,000 US dollars.
And so to be up for grabs on the 25th and 26th. And the 4 teams that are going to be playing for League of Legends will be today's Destination FM, Team Rampage, Team Jester Rascals, which used to be Team Peach Server All Stars, as well as Team Vex, which used to be the Beast Mitai,